Cameras on. We are live. I am Ray the Hammer Miller, and I am standing in the breach, folks. I am the madman shouting the truth while the globalists try to sew your eyelids shut.
Haha, and I'm Ashley Thorne, the resident provocateur. If you're looking for a safe space, you're in the wrong studio. We deal in reality here, and reality doesn't care about your feelings.
Well, this is Walter Blackwood speaking. I'm here to examine the archetypal rot and perhaps find a bit of light in the architecture of being. It's no joke, man.
You're listening to Will Sterling. What is going on here? Seriously. I'm looking at the news today and I'm bewildered. We have a solid show for you today, folks.
Solid is an understatement, Will. It's a busy one.
It's necessary work. Yesterday, we were mourning the chaos dragon at the border and the dissolution of our national boundaries, roughly speaking. And today, the dragon has moved into the police precincts and the pharmacies.
Oh, the vampires are everywhere, Walter. They're cooking the books in D.C. while the children are being fed to the wolves in Arkansas. We've got the documents. Let's get into the fire.
I mean, really? Can we just look at Washington, D.C. for a second? I saw this report from the Examiner and Fox 5. 13 members of the Metropolitan Police Department? 13! Just served with termination papers? What is going on here?
I'll tell you what's going on. It's the Purge. They were cooking the stats, Will. They were reclassifying felonies as misdemeanors to make it look like their radical, soft-on-crime policies were working. It's a false illusion of safety.
Let's be real, Ray. We all knew the numbers were fake. You walk down a street in D.C. and you see the chaos. Then you read a report saying crime is down 10%? Excuse me?
It's a fundamental lie. When you manipulate the data, you aren't just lying to the public. You're lying to the structure of reality itself. If the police, the very embodiment of the protective hierarchy, become the agents of deception, the entire social contract dissolves. It's bloody complicated.
But wait! The interim chief, Jeffrey Carroll, says they were pressured by leadership. Assistant Chief Lachey McCall, Commander Tatiana Savoy, they're all on the chopping block because they created an ecosystem of fear and retaliation. Think about it. If you didn't lie for the regime, you were punished.
It's the same thing we saw with the border stats yesterday. They want you to believe the invasion isn't happening. They want you to believe the streets are safe while the human-animal hybrids are prowling the alleys. I have the white papers on this. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro had to step in because the corruption was so thick you could cut it with a tactical knife.
It's the victimhood industrial complex in reverse. The city government wanted to be the victim of bad optics, so they just deleted the crimes. If there's no paper trail, the robbery didn't happen, right? Life is hard. Get a helmet. But you can't even get a helmet if the stats say there are no falling bricks.
And then you have the Supreme Court finally adopting automated ethics checks? 20 years too late? It's the tragedy of the institution. They wait until the foundation is crumbling to check if the beams are straight.
And James Comey! Don't forget Comey. He's facing a criminal trial over a social media post? I mean, I don't like the guy, but is this the world we live in now? Everyone is just suing everyone while the city burns?
Comey's part of the globalist guard, Will. It's theater. It's a distraction from the fact that the D.C. police were literally operating as a PR firm for the criminals. They're all in on it. They want you disarmed and delusional.
Speaking of being disarmed and delusional, let's look at what's happening in the cities that haven't quite purged their leadership yet. I'm looking at Chicago. Walgreens is closing another store on the south side. That's 6 in 1 year. 6!
A retail desert.
Exactly. And you know what the provocateur response from the local government is? Alderman Will Hall is calling for criminal charges against Walgreens for get this, first-degree corporate abandonment. I'm sorry, but what?
Wait. Criminal charges for closing a store because they were losing $43,000 a month to smash and grabs? Why are they doing this?
Because they hate you! They want to pin the blame on the producers! It's the Bolshevik playbook, Will. You create the chaos, you allow the looters to run wild, and then when the business owners flee for their lives, you call them the criminals!
It's the devouring mother archetype, Ray. The community demands the nourishment of the pharmacy, life-saving meds for seniors, but they refuse to provide the fatherly protection of the law. They want the fruit without the fence. And when the fruit disappears, they scream at the tree. It's no joke, man. People are going to die because they can't get their prescriptions.
Here's the reality. Walgreens has a moral obligation to stay, according to the alderman, because they took some tax money years ago. Well, I have a moral obligation to tell the alderman to do his job. If the CPD Retail Crime Task Force is reporting rampant theft and you do nothing, you don't get to sue the victim for leaving.
And then you look at Seattle. Mayor Katie Wilson, the socialist mayor, she's in the hot seat because a video went viral of a 77-year-old being beaten in broad daylight? Literally. And her response is just more community-led initiatives? What is going on here?
It's a war on the elderly. It's a war on the vulnerable. They want the streets to be a gauntlet. Listen to me. They're trying to break your spirit so you'll accept the digital shackles.
Life is hard. Get a helmet. Seattle is basically telling people life is hard. Good luck with the blunt force trauma. It's pathetic.
It makes me want to weep, honestly, to see a 77-year-old man, someone who has presumably spent his life building the very civilization these people are tearing down, beaten while the leadership stares at their navels. It's the collapse of the moral hierarchy. It's bloody devastating.
You want to talk about the collapse of the hierarchy? Let's talk about Arkansas. Let's talk about Mary Tracy Morrison.
Oh boy, the Child Fight Club? I saw the headlines on TMZ and the Daily Mail. This is just, it's demonic.
Roughly speaking, the ultimate betrayal. A director of an institute for the developing brain? Acting as a ringleader for children to strike each other?
30 days. She got 30 days in jail for high-fiving kids while they kicked and choked a 13-year-old boy. She forced the victim to apologize to his attackers. This is the war on the family. They are grooming our children to be gladiators for the New World Order.
Let's be real. If a parent did this, they'd be under the prison. But a professional educator at the Delta Institute, she gets probation? Excuse me? Where is the personal responsibility?
Then she told them never to speak of it. Think about it. That's the ruling class in a nutshell. Do something horrific and then threaten the victims into silence. Why are these people allowed anywhere near children?
Because we've replaced objective truth with social emotional learning garbage that has no bottom. When you remove the idea that there is a divine spark in each individual, children just become clay to be molded into whatever monstrous shape the educator desires. It's the devouring mother again, Ray. She's not protecting the children. She's consuming their innocence for her own sick amusement.
And then you see it spilling out into the parents. In Florida, we have reports of parental brawls at youth sporting events. If the teachers are running fight clubs, why shouldn't the parents throw down over a U12 soccer game? The culture is rotting from the head down.
It's the psych meds, folks. They've got these kids hopped up on fluoride and SSRIs. I'm telling you, it's a biological attack. That's why you need the super male vitality bone broth. You need to protect your own.
Ray, you might actually be onto something with the meds. Even RFK Jr. is talking about it now.
RFK Jr. at HHS? He's actually looking into psychiatric over-medication? Literally?
Finally! The middlemen are getting squeezed. We're talking about PBM reform, pharmacy benefit managers. These are the blood-sucking vampires that sit between you and your medicine and hike the price up by 500%.
It's interesting. The Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2026 is actually trying to de-link PBM profits from drug prices. For once, the government might be doing something that resembles common sense. Lowering healthcare costs is the #1 issue for MAHA supporters, according to the latest KFF poll.
Well, it's about transparency. If the PBMs are keeping secret deals and spread pricing in the shadows, they're acting as parasites on the body politic. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. It's like cleaning your room, but for the entire pharmaceutical supply chain.
But why did it take so long? I mean, Senate Finance Chairman Mike Crapo is pushing this now, but these middlemen have been draining the American family for decades. They're worth billions.
Because they're part of the club, Will. They fund the campaigns. They're the ones who want you sick, tired, and broke. Listen to me. They don't want you healthy. A healthy man is a dangerous man to a globalist.
Well, speaking of dangerous men who are building things, before we get back to the analysis, let's deal with a hard reality.
Right.
Real independence isn't free. This entire network, from this show to our flagship, The Neural Daily, exists because one man, Eric Christensen, decided to build it himself. He didn't ask for a government grant. He invested his own capital and technical expertise to architect a media platform that respects your intelligence. If you value that kind of meritocratic building, back it up.
It's an act of sovereignty, really.
And don't limit yourself to just the politics. Get the full strategic picture by subscribing to the Neural Daily and the rest of the network. Support the builder and you support the mission. Now, let's get back to the realignment because Alan Dershowitz just flipped the script.
This is my favorite story of the day. Alan Dershowitz, the liberal lion, the Harvard guy, he's officially a Republican? What is going on?
70 years a Democrat, 7 decades, and he finally said, I'm out. He registered as a Republican yesterday. He said he can't be associated with a party that is anti-Zionist, anti-Israel, and anti-Semitic.
It's the exodus. When the radical elements of a movement become so possessed by resentment that they turn on their own founding values, the sane people have to leave. Roughly speaking, Dershowitz is realizing that the Democrats have abandoned Western values in favor of a chaotic postmodern ideology.
It's the red pill moment of the century. Dershowitz sees the cyborg agenda. He knows the old guard is being liquidated by the globalists. He said he's received calls from closeted Democrats who are terrified to leave. Cowards! Follow the old man.
And then you have Vivek Ramaswamy. He just crushed the Ohio governor primary. Think about it. The outsider is now the establishment. The people are screaming for someone who doesn't speak in focus group platitudes. Literally.
It's a seismic shift. The common sense center of gravity is moving. People like Vivek and even Dershowitz are realizing that classical liberalism doesn't live on the left anymore. The left has moved into the realm of pure, unadulterated woke science.
Woke science. Did you see the NASA budget report?
NASA? What happened with the space people?
The administration is stripping the DEI mandates from federal science funding. They're cutting NASA's Office of STEM engagement by 23%. Why? Because they were spending billions on woke STEM programming instead of, landing on the bloody moon?
It's a return to competence. Science should be about the objective exploration of the material world, not a vehicle for social engineering. If NASA is subsidizing ideology rather than building rockets, they've lost their way. It's an extinction-level event for the Democrats. But to me, it looks like a restoration of the hierarchy of merit.
They used the word woke 32 times in the budget document. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're hunting for DEI like they're hunting for insurgents. I love it.
But wait! Look at Smith College. The Department of Education is investigating them for admitting biological men in an all-women's college? What is going on here?
It's the erasure of women. They want to destroy the biological reality of the female. They're using taxpayer money to fund the invasion of private spaces. It's demonic, Walter. It's the chaos dragon in a skirt.
It is a fundamental lie. If you cannot define what a woman is for the purpose of a woman's college, then the word has no meaning. The institution has no meaning. And we are adrift in a sea of nihilistic nonsense. It's bloody tragic for the young women who thought they had a safe space to develop their own architecture of being.
Life is hard. Get a helmet. Especially if you're Donald Trump. Did you see the fallout from the WHCA dinner assassination attempt?
The guy with the gun? Yeah. And now a federal judge is disturbed that the suspect is being treated deficiently? What is going on here? The media is actually blaming Trump's rhetoric for the attempt on his own life? Literally.
It's the meta coverage trap. CNN and the Post are saying, well, Trump said mean things about Robert Mueller, so naturally someone tried to kill him. They're justifying political violence in real time. They hate you. They want you to think it's your fault when they come for you.
And then you have the Charlie Kirk effect. United Healthcare fired a social media manager for sarcastically celebrating the attempt. Excuse me? You think you can post that and keep your corporate gig? The victimhood industrial complex doesn't cover you when you're cheering for a sniper.
It's the rhetoric of division reaching its logical conclusion. The dehumanization of the other to the point where their death is a punchline. That's a dangerous game. If we lose the ability to see the divine spark in our political opponents, we're only a few steps away from a dark place.
Speaking of dark places, Coinbase is laying off 700 people because they're becoming AI native? CEO Brian Armstrong says one-person teams can do what entire departments used to do. Think about it. The middle class is being deleted by an algorithm.
I told you, the cyborgs are here. They don't need you anymore. They want a world of one-person teams and 99% unemployment.
It's a recalibration of what it means to be a worker. If AI can handle the engineering and design, what is left for the human? Perhaps this is why we see the Luddite Renaissance in Gen Z.
I love this. Gen Z is ditching smartphones for dumb phones. Flip phones are the new status symbol. They're carrying analog bags with journals and film cameras. They're reclaiming their attention.
They're becoming disgustingly educated. That's the new cool? Reading actual books instead of scrolling TikTok? What is going on here? Is the youth actually coming back to reality?
Oh, I hope so. I truly hope so. If the young people can turn away from the algorithmic living and return to the tactile world, to paper, to ink, to the moment of boredom, then there is hope for the individual. It's the only way to resist the great recession of the soul.
They're getting off the digital plantation. They see the globalist strings. We need more Luddites. We need more people who know how to hunt, fish, and read the documents. Don't let the machine eat your brain.
Well, while the Gen Zers are flipping their phones, Buffalo is flipping their lids. The Sabres are in the semifinals for the first time in 19 years.
Resilience.
19 years of rebuilding. They were in last place in December. Then they went on a 32-6 run. It's the Sabres effect. The city is coming alive because of a hockey team. Grit, faith, and a goalie who only allowed 5 goals in 5 games. That's anti-victim energy right there.
And Tom Green, the 60-year-old college football player, did you see him? Literally 60 years old playing with 20-year-olds. That's the American spirit. Why are we talking about ageism when this guy's just out there hitting people?
Because he's a man! He's got that fire! He's probably on the bone broth!
It's a beautiful thing to see a man refuse to be put out to pasture by the culture's expectations. It's an act of courage. It's no joke.
We need more of that. We need more courage and less meta coverage.
All right, folks, let's look at what we've learned today. The government in D.C. is cooking the books to hide the crime. Radical mayors are suing businesses for leaving the utopias they destroyed. Educators are running fight clubs for 13-year-olds while the media blames the victims for the violence they inspire. And through it all, they want you to think you're the crazy one. They hate you. They literally want you to stop asking what is going on and just accept the decline.
But we won't! We have the documents! We have the truth! And we have the super male vitality! Don't let the interdimensional vampires win! Buy a flip phone and read a book!
Life is hard. Get a helmet. And if you're in Chicago, get a locksmith and a lawyer because the alderman is coming for your abandonment.
Just clean your room, roughly speaking. Find the truth in the small things before the architecture of being falls on your head. It's bloody important, man. For the children.
What a day! They hate you, but we're here for you. I'm Will Sterling, and I'm still bewildered.
I'm Ray Miller. Stay strapped and stay informed.
Ashley Thorne here. Go triggered or go home.
Flatwood Walter.